Joe, we are following breaking news into our newsroom out of Nigeria. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, just happening now, just at the top of the hour, President Trump announcing that there has been a Christmas Day strike, an American strike in Nigeria, targeting ISIS elements there. We didn't get too many details other than this is in the northwestern part of Nigeria. According to President Trump, we're basically going off of his Truth Social post, which he just put out. But he announced that he's doing this as a result of Christians in Nigeria being targeted by ISIS elements. Now, we know that.
Is it really about Christians, though? Because, you know, there's Christians being targeted in Syria, there's Christians being targeted in Gaza, but there's no outrage. So is it really about that? You know, it makes you question. And the area where the strikes were carried out, the northwestern part, the specific place where the strike was carried out is 98% Muslim. So if these people are targeting Christians, then why would you guys target an area that's 98% Muslim when there's no Christians to attack in these areas? What Christians are you trying to protect in that area? That's my question. And also, Nigeria carried out a strike in Benin just a couple of weeks ago. So why did Nigeria need the U.S.'s help in doing this? So if this really is about protecting Christians, then what about the Christians in Gaza? That's the only concern that I have. What about the Christians in Gaza? Are the Christians in Gaza next?
For months, there has been sectarian violence in Nigeria. We know that Christians have died at the hands of terrorist groups like ISIS, like Boko Haram. There have also been a lot of Muslims killed by both of those terrorist organizations as well.
There's actually been more Muslims killed, but no one's talking about that. So it just really makes me come to the conclusion that this isn't really it's not about Christians. Okay, people, I just feel like, especially with Trump being, his allegiance being to Israel, and Mark Levin called him like the first Jewish president. Jews don't like Muslims. So could there be a connection between, I don't know, what's happening with Israel and Palestine and what's happening in Nigeria right now, where they just hate Muslims?
Nigeria. President Trump specifically naming Christians, saying that is the reason that the U.S. struck on Christmas Day, and that strikes will continue, the president says, if Christians continue to be targeted. Again, that coming just from President Trump's truth.
Trump is not a Christian. People should know that by now. His allegiance he's a, I can't say the J word, you know what I mean. Yeah, so I just call bullshit on all of this. I really do.
Social. We're going to continue to try to learn more, but we just got that into our newsroom, obviously breaking right now, something that.
So if the idea is to protect Christians from terrorists, why not carry out the strike in an area where there's a lot of Christians and there's reports of terrorist attacks? Because the area that was targeted, right, where the strike was carried out, again, it hasn't reported any terrorist attacks in like years, which makes sense because there's no Christians to attack. It's 98% Muslim, so why carry out the strike in those areas? Now, the only thing I know about that area is that it gives really easy access to countries like Mali, like Burkina Faso, which, you know, they're starting to become a problem for European forces and the U.S. And I think it's quite coincidental that the countries which the United States is getting involved with all happen to have one thing in common: oil. Right? They are. Nigeria is one of the biggest oil refineries in the world, by the way, and so is Iran, so is Venezuela. So it just gets you thinking, maybe that's what's actually going on. But then I'll just give Trump the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's trying to help Christians, whatever. So my question is, what about the Christians in Gaza? What about those guys?